You've heard the story of the boy who cried wolf 1,000 times, right? Of course you have. But have you ever really, stopped and broken it down? We're going to do that today because this isn't just some old bedtime story. It is, no joke, one of the most powerful and timeless case studies on how trust works and how it breaks.
Really? This whole thing, this entire analysis, it all comes down to one single powerful question. What is the true cost of a small lie? It seems so harmless at first, doesn't it? But, as we're about to see, the ripples, they can be absolutely catastrophic. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first. Every system has a starting point, a baseline. And in this story, our system starts with a foundation of total unspoken trust. You've got the shepherd boy, his flock of sheep, and a village full of people ready to help. At this point, everything is stable. Everything is in perfect balance. And the simplicity here is just so important. The whole system, the whole community, it runs on one single shared belief. If someone cries for help, it means there's real danger, and the villagers will respond. But a single tiny variable is about to throw the whole thing off balance. A bored kid.
This brings us to the first major event. And I want you to think about this first prank not just as a lie, but as the moment he deliberately injects false data into what was a perfectly working communication channel. He's literally about to hack the system.
And how does the system react to this first test? Well, it reacts perfectly. The villagers hear the alarm, that's the signal, and they react immediately. No questions asked. They drop what they're doing, they rush out to help, and that just goes to show you their default setting is belief. It's concern. The system is working exactly like it's supposed to.
And then the punchline. The boys' big victory here is completely 100% dependent on exploiting their good nature. That laughter, that's the sound of trust shattering. See, the villagers weren't dumb, they were trusting. And the boy didn't prove he was smart, he just proved he could take advantage of their kindness. So what happens when you keep feeding a system bad information over and over? Well, it learns, it adapts, and that brings us to the real heart of the story, the complete and total erosion of belief. Because trust, once it's broken, it is incredibly hard to piece back together.
And you can literally watch it happen in stages. That first lie, it just causes some annoyance. Okay, fine. But that second lie, that's the game changer. It transforms their annoyance into real anger and, even more importantly, into a new policy of deliberate disbelief. The villagers actually make a conscious choice. We're not falling for this again. We will not trust this source.
So what has the boy really lost here? He's spent his single most valuable asset, his credibility. Think of it like a bank account of trust. He made 2 huge withdrawals with those lies, and now the account's empty. There's nothing left. He's got 0 social capital to draw on when he actually needs it. And all of this, it just sets the stage for the story's really tragic ending. The real threat, the actual wolf, is about to show up. But the warning system, the boy's own voice, has been made totally worthless by its own owner.
And there it is. The one event they were all supposed to be on guard for finally happens. The wolf is real, the danger is immediate. But the alarm bell, at this point, it's just meaningless noise.
The tragic irony here is just wow. His cry is now more desperate, more real, more genuine than it ever was before, but for the villagers, they can't tell the difference anymore. He's so completely polluted the channel that the signal sounds exactly like the noise he created. The truth sounds just like another lie.
And this right here is the moment it all becomes final. Their laughter is the ultimate proof that he failed. It's not that they don't care about him, it's that they simply no longer believe him. The communication channel is officially dead.
So, let's put all the pieces together. The ending of this story isn't just a sad little moral. No, it's a direct, predictable result of the system breakdown we just walked through. It shows us, in the starkest terms possible, the incredibly high price of lying.
And that price, it's tangible. It's not just hurt feelings or some abstract loss of trust. We're talking about real, physical destruction. Those dead sheep, they're the final bill for the boy's lies. The villagers did eventually go to check on him, but by then, it was way, way too late.
This one sentence, right here, is the thesis statement for the entire fable. It's the core principle we've just seen play out step by step. At the end of the day, your words are only as valuable as the trust people have in you. Once that trust is gone, the words themselves, they mean nothing.
And that leaves us with a pretty big question for our own lives, doesn't it?
In a world that's just saturated with information, with digital alarms and constant noise, this ancient story feels more important than ever. So how do we protect our own credibility? And maybe even more important, when it feels like everyone is crying wolf all the time, how do we ever recognize the real cry for help?